Hello and welcome! Today we're gonna be talking about wall movement. First, how to train this. Well, to train this, all you're gonna need is a wall. I've started by doing the most basic, getting into a flattened position with a back to the wall start. First day was pretty bad, big improvements on the second. And on the third, I started to also flatten from the sides as well. Another 1 or 2 days of that, and I also started to train flattening while facing the wall. After that, I've started to move along with the wall from one side to the other, changing direction while flattened. I would start the training of the day with the early stuff and move on to the latter stuff. Of course, it wasn't strict. If on the first day I had an idea and wanted to experiment with it, I would stop what I was doing and try it out. It's good to do this as you get some familiarization with things you haven't unlocked yet, and possibly make it easier to learn them later on. I would also train all of this while looking at different directions with my neck. I use the timer ratio of 10 minutes of training for 5 minutes of rest, because training this is very boring. The technique. Well, the first thing to note is that you actually don't really want to flatten, at least not your feet, because when you do that, there is a significant chance you will hit the wall too fast with your shoe, making quite a lot of noise. So I would recommend stopping your feet a bit early, about 3 or 3.5 centimeters before hitting the wall. This gives you a pretty good assurance you will not hit the wall with some room for error, while also not being too detrimental to how much more you are likely to be detected. I'm pretty sure you could train a lot to flatten perfectly while not making noise, but I don't think it's very likely you would ever need it. So I'd say it's a part-time investment. You could also just correct the feet after flattening if you have time for it. The rest of your body you want to flatten, but try to carefully yet quickly put one of your hands on the wall before the rest of your body, so you know how far the wall is. This should help you avoid slamming your body on the wall. That would make less noise than the shoes, but still, not good. That applies to all directions, but the following is especially important to all directions of approach that aren't back towards the wall. That being, footwork. You must turn the foot that makes the first step towards the wall in the direction that will help you turn the rest of your body towards the direction you desire. I think this is pretty obvious and comes off naturally, but still worth mentioning. Also obvious but still worth mentioning is that the material you flatten against matters. A solid and stable brick and concrete wall is much quieter than hollow and unstable metal or wood, so be more careful with those. Now what I learned about the namesake of this skill group, wall movement. Again, you are not supposed to flatten. This time this goes for your whole body. Anything that is touching the wall when you move will make a very noticeable scraping noise. As a bonus, it will also shred your clothes if the surface you're in contact with is not smooth. Unless your opponent is deaf, very far away, or there is sufficient sound cover while also not having the shredding thing be a problem for whatever reason, I would highly recommend that you train to be very close to the wall but not actually touch it. As for how to move, it's pretty much the same techniques for stealth walking to the sides, but with minor differences. The simple and easy method is one where you don't cross your legs. You just move one leg to the direction you want to go and then bring the other leg to the one that has advanced. Keep repeating until you reach where you wanted to reach. This method is slower, but due to its less complex nature, it has a much lower chance of you making some mistake that creates noise, and also keeps your whole body closer to the wall and as a result harder to be detected. On the other hand, the method that has you crossing your legs is faster, but has more moving parts, and consequently more room for errors that would result in noise. In order to minimize that noise, and also maximize speed, you should turn your torso a bit to the direction you want to go in order to allow your legs to move more forwards than to the sides, as that will cause them to not scrape each other. However, remember to tuck the shoulder that is opposite to the direction you are moving back to the wall to reduce how much you stick out. Reversing is simple and easy for the simple and easy method. Just look to the other direction and do the same thing, but with the rolls of the legs reversed. For the complex method, you have two options. You can just do everything in reverse. Good if you want to keep looking at the direction opposite to where you're moving towards. Or you can turn your body to the other side and just move normally to that direction. This later method is faster and less complicated, so has less chance of you committing some mistake that makes noise. But what if you can't see? Maybe it's way too dark, or you want to look at another direction different from where you're going. Then you should use the hand that is closer to the direction you are going to scout ahead by lightly tapping the wall with your fingertips for potential problems. Extra notes. Bang. Both movement methods cause bang. The simple one causes it on your neck due to looking way too much to the side in order to see where you're going, and also on the side of your leg muscles due to having to repeatedly lift the whole leg using only those muscles, without much support from the other stronger front and back leg muscles. The complex method causes it on your shoulder due to having to constantly force it back. Bang! Feedback. This is a news section where we analyze comments posted both on YouTube and the forum about previous videos. Here we have a comment from the forum by the user Nightmare. And yeah, I agree. When I tell you to not use the walls for support, that's mostly just a training thing, as I don't want you to get a dependence on those walls. But if you are actually on an operation or airsoft or whatever, yeah, you should use the walls for support. So yeah, thanks for this comment, Nightmare. That should help out other people as well. Well, this is it for wall movement. Next episode will probably be about crouched wall movement. So ready up your poor knees again. And thank you for watching.